Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing condos in Thailand. For those who are unaware, notwithstanding the restrictions on foreigners being able to own real estate in Thailand, namely the restriction on foreigners owning land in Thailand, it is possible for foreign nationals to get what's called freehold title in sort of the more British or Australian, sort of Westminster sense of the vernacular for the common law, sort of freehold title, or what we would call fee simple absolute in an American context, what they call in Thailand shinote title. That is what you think of when you think of ownership title. It is possible to get ownership title to a condo in Thailand, notwithstanding the provisions against it in against foreign ownership of real estate that's otherwise inherent in Thai law. So it's possible to do that. Now, there are some requirements, there are some stipulations associated with gaining freehold title. Most notably, in order to gain freehold title, one must basically, there's quotas associated. So it's a 49%, 51% foreign to Thai quota that only foreign nationals can only own up to 49% of the total units. And there's kind of a specific, case-specific metric that's going to go into how the quota system works. But as a rule of thumb, if you have a 100-unit condo facility, 49 units can be foreign-owned, 51 units must be Thai-owned. That's the way that it currently works. Now, there's some talk of changing the quotas under this government and under some prior iterations of this government, but long story short, nothing's legally changed with respect to that. Point of this video, though, is condo quotas are not necessarily indicative of, I initially was going to call it the financial health of a condominium, but I didn't want to call it that because that's somewhat misleading or not really to the point. But it's not indicative necessarily of the common area maintenance is what I was trying to get at. And the reason for this is there are oftentimes passive owners of condominiums. For example, we see a lot of Chinese folks that will buy up condos in Thailand to act as sort of a passive investment. They'll just hold the condo for a prolonged period of time and then sell it later. And there's other folks that do that as well. Sometimes they'll rent them, sometimes they won't. And what we oftentimes see, when we're conducting due diligence, even though it's not directly part of the due diligence associated with buying a condo here, it's something that we will comment upon if we just sort of notice something, which is, when we're doing the due diligence, we go to a condominium, we need to get information from the juristic person, basically the person tasked with legally managing the condo. We'll ask them for some documentation. We'll have to go to the land office to get documentation to conduct the due diligence and make sure everything is on the up and up with regard to ownership, etc., and being able to transfer freehold title, etc. But the point of the video here is sometimes we'll go to these places and we'll see, wow, the quota is, it looks like there's a high occupancy rate and the quota is in good shape. This person can buy this freehold, but it doesn't look like the maintenance is very good because oftentimes folks will be owning these things as a passive investment and they might not be paying in their common area maintenance fee. And that leads to a sort of a negative feedback loop where there's not enough money to maintain the thing. And then as time goes on, people are less inclined to pay those fees. And as a result, the thing can become run down. So again, it's not an overly tangible part of the due diligence process, but it's definitely something you yourself should undertake as a buyer of a condo, is to just do a walkthrough. Have a look around the area, have a look around, walk around the complex and just ascertain, is it being maintained well? Are the common areas in clean, good working order? Because you can't necessarily get that purely from quota information when doing due diligence on purchasing a condo here in the Kingdom of Thailand.